Alright, let's look at the homework 3.5, problem number 7. Alright, so we want to find the equations of the tangent line at the points on the graph of equation y squared minus xy minus 6 equal to 0, where x equals 1. Alright, so first part, find the y values for which x equals 1. Alright, so we just need to plug in x equals 1. Alright, so I'm gonna just plug x equals 1 into the equation. Actually, there's only x right there. Alright, so we get this equation. We're gonna get y squared, alright, minus, x is 1, so this is gonna be just y, minus 6 equals 0. Right, so we can factor this out. So you have y and another y here. Right, so we have to come up with two numbers. If you multiply them together, you get negative 6, and add them together, you get negative 1. So I would probably do positive 2 and negative 3. Right. So that will work out. So therefore, y values that we're looking for would be from here negative 2, and from here positive 3. Alright, so let's type it in. So negative 2 comma 3. Alright, so let's check the answer. Alright, we got that. Alright, so tangent line at the 1, 3, alright, so that's the second one is, so we just have to find the equation, right? So we already know the point, so here's a tangent line at 1, 3, right? So we need the point. Point actually we already know, which is say I'm gonna call it x1 and y1 here. So we just need to find the slope, right? So we have to find the derivative. So let's take the derivative using the implicit differentiation. So take the derivative of the left hand side, which is y squared minus xy and minus 6, and then we take the derivative of the right hand side with respect to x. Alright, so this would give us, right, so derivative of y squared with respect to y. So you have take the regular derivative, which is going to be 2y. But since we are taking a derivative with respect to a different variable, so we have to multiply by dy over dx. So this is the chain rule, right? Then you have a minus, right? So xy is a product, so we're going to use a product rule. So this is the first guy, this is the second guy, right? So derivative of the first guy is derivative of x is 1. Times the second, which is y, plus first guy, which is x, multiplied by derivative of the second guy, so derivative of y is dy over dx. Alright, then derivative of negative 6 is 0 because negative 6 is a constant, so I'm not going to write anything down here. And the derivative of 0 is of course 0 because 0 is also a constant. So we have that. Alright, so I'm going to collect all the terms that has dy over dx and everything else on the other side. Alright, so I'm going to collect those two guys. So this guy, you have dy over dx, dy over dx here. So I'm going to factor that out and put it here. Right, so we have dy over dx. Right, then what's left is going to be here there's 2y, so I'll put 2y here. Alright, then you have, so here's an x, but remember that there's a negative sign there, so it's a negative x. Alright, then you have a negative y there, so I'm going to put it on the other side, so I'm going to just add y to both sides, so that the negative y on the left hand side becomes positive y on the right hand side. Alright, then the last step, so we want to isolate this guy, so we can just divide through by quantity 2y minus x. So divide it through by 2y minus x. So we get dy over dx is equal to y over 2y minus x. Alright, so we can find the slope. So if you want to find the slope for the tangent line here, I'm going to call it M1 because they're going to be two tangent lines. So M1 can be found by just take the derivative with respect to x, so that's the derivative, then evaluate it at 1, 3. So 1, 3. Alright, x is 1, y is 3. Alright, so this is going to be y is 3, so plug in 3 there, divided by 2 times, again, y is 3, and minus x is 1. Alright, so this is going to be 3 over, right, so 2 times 3 is 6 minus 1, so 5. Right, so 3/5 is the slope. Right, so the equation of the tangent line is going to be y minus y1, which is 3, is equal to, slope is 3/5, and times quantity x minus x1 is 1. Alright, so we can write the equation. Actually, we have to probably write it in y equals 1. Let's double check. Equation is, type in an equation. I guess I can write the equation. So it's going to be y minus 3 is equal to 3/5 and x minus 1. Alright, let's see if they like this equation. Check the answer. Alright, so we got that. Alright, then we want the tangent line at the other point, 1, -2. So let's do that. Alright, so if you want to find another slope, so maybe I should write this. So tangent line at 1, -2. Right? So for that slope, so I'm going to call it M2. Right? All you have to do is evaluate the same derivative that we found from the implicit differentiation and plug in 1, -2. Right, so let's do that. So y is -2 divided by 2 times y, so it's -2, minus x, which is 1. Right, so which is going to give us -2 over -4 minus 1, so it's -5. Right, so you can see that this is going to be just 2/5. Right, so the equation is going to be y minus y1, which is -2, so it's a +2, is equal to 2/5 x minus x1, so it's 1. Right, so let's type that in, and we found y plus 2 is equal to 2/5 times quantity x minus 1. Alright, let's check the answer. We got that. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.